Hey there kangaroos, what's up? Welcome back to World of Roocraft, the series where I review every single playable zone in World of Warcraft. We just talked about the Ghostlands and its spooky inhabitants, and today we continue the scary theme with another haunted place, the Duskwood. This area is an Alliance only zone and aimed at players between level 20 to 60. So let's start this review with the backstory of the Duskwood. Nowadays, the Duskwood is a gloomy and dark place. A mysterious black mist is blocking out all light from the forest, dooming the area to lie in eternal night. But that wasn't always the case. A long time ago, the Duskwood was part of the Elven Forest and blooming with life. At one point, after the Third War, the Night Elf Velinda Starsong traveled there, and she brought the Side of Eluna with her. We already talked about this side, but let me give you a little reminder. The Side of Eluna is a powerful weapon, imbued with the power of the wolf god Galdrin. The side is also responsible for the creation of the Worgen, and a major plot point in the Worgen starting zone. If you want to know more, you can check out that review in the description down below.
That's a cheap plug.
Shut up. You want the hose again?
No, Daddy, I'm sorry.
It's not really known what events happened next, but Velinda ended up being killed in a mine called Roland's Doom. Even my extensive research couldn't bring anything to light. And with research I mean pulling up its WoW wiki article. The site remained in Roland's Doom and its power covered the mine in darkness. A group of adventurers went there to investigate the cause of the darkness and found the weapon. The site's power immediately turned some of them into Worgen and they began to tear into their former friends. A survivor of this group managed to escape with the site and he hid it somewhere in Duskwood. Now the site attracted the interest of the so-called Dark Riders, a group of undead relic hunters. The black mist now covering the area was brought by those Dark Riders and they're still haunting the woods. It's unknown what happened to the Side of Eluna next, before it briefly shows up in Gilneas. One graphical landmark I want to point out is a long inactive volcano crater. This seems to be the only zone unaffected by the site's curse. It also houses one of the great trees on Azeroth. These trees are acting as portals to the Emerald Dream, and you can check out that one for yourself if you want. Duskwood is now overrun by Worgen and zombies, and some ogres are coming from the nearby Deathrin Pass too. But it's not hopeless. A group called the Nightwatch emerged from the chaos and dedicated itself to fight back these fiends. There is a lot to cover in the Duskwood, so let's start off easy. As we arrive there, our attention is brought to the Jorgen farmstead. While checking out the farm, we are attacked by a lurking Worgen. To find out more about this Worgen, we travel to the village Raven Hill to talk to the alchemist Master Harris. He tells us that there is no cure for the Worgen curse. Are you sure about that, bro? After capturing the fellow Worgen, Harris and his assistant Jitters manage to restore the Worgen's sanity. The Worgen turns out to be Sven Jorgen. Sven immediately attacks Jitters and it is revealed that Jitters was the survivor of the Roland's Doom incident. He hit the Side of Eluna at the Jorgen farmstead and caused the Dark Riders to attack and kill Sven's family. Sven turns out to be the bigger man and he spares Jitters. He also sheds some light on the recent zombie situation in the Duskwoods. He tells us about a necromancer named Morbin Fail. Morbin returned from the dead as a lich and is now raising an army of zombies. We set out to take care of Morbin and stumble upon a shaft made of light-forged iron.
Hey Roo, I got an iron rod too. Wanna see it?
Is it your penis?
No, never mind.
He's a robot. Why does he even have a dingaling? The rod is actually just a part of a more powerful artifact, and to restore it, we have to roam the crypts of Raven Hill. After reassembling the artifact, we are ready to take on Morbin and succeed in killing him once again. That's the zombies out of the way. There is a thing I want to add here. While I fought my way through the cemetery, I stumbled upon a disturbed grave. This grave belongs to the Alliance hero Morgan Lattimore. His story is a tragic one. After spending years fighting orcs and the Scourge, he returned home to the Elven Forest just to find it turned into the Duskwood. Looking for his wife and child, he found his spouse's grave. Morgan then went mad and killed himself. He is now roaming the area as the undead warrior Mor Ladim. We kill the poor bastard and learn that his daughter, Sarah Lattimore, is still alive and working for the Night Watch. She's thankful for her actions and gives us a ring to put Morgan to peace. We do exactly that, and he gives us a gripping speech on how he's finally free of hate and ready to move on. Right after that, his undead alter ego shows up and attacks us. That's a little bit awkward. That's all we can do at Raven Hill, so we decide to travel to Darkshire, the de facto capital of Duskwood. We have a little chat with Althea Ebenlock, the leader of the Night Watch, and receive our next assignments from her. Again, there's a lot to do here. First, we introduce ourselves to the locals. For example, there's Tobias Dustmantle. I just want to add that that's the second time you meet him. You can run into him in the starting campaign of Gilneas. Tobias got to Darkshire after receiving a letter from his brother Stalwan. But as he arrived, he had to learn that Stalwan already died. We decide to help him to figure out what happened and ask at the archive for Stalwan's journal. But those pesky fellow Rogan have already raided the place and only left behind parts of it. So we set out to kill some Rogan to get the rest of it back. After we completed the journal, we learned the grim truth. Stalwan was working as a teacher and spent some time in Moonbrook. Hey, we know that place. After he got hired by a nobleman to teach his son, Stalwan fell in love with the nobleman's daughter. I can feel her in my pounding heart and heated veins? Ew, dude, keep your rod in your pants. But the young lady didn't return his advances and saw him more as an uncle. Ooh, that must hurt. Being uncle zoned is never pretty. Blind with rage, Stalwan killed the young lady and disappeared. Together with Tobias, we traveled to his brother's mansion and summoned an undead Stalwan. Turns out that the people of Darkshire killed Stalwan after his pure rage turned him into an undead monster. Not to mention that he killed a young woman. Naturally, we defeat Stalwan and put Tobias' mind at ease. And there's one more citizen of Darkshire I forgot to talk about. The hermit Abercrombie asked us to run some errands for him. All he wants is some ghost hair, zombie juice, and a scarecrow made of zombie ribs? That's a little bit suspicious, but what can go wrong? After we gathered all that stuff, we learned that something can go wrong. Abercrombie is actually a powerful necromancer called the Embalmer. With our help, he managed to create an abomination and is now attacking Darkshire. Oops. But the game did say that ghost hair can bind life to inanimate objects and that the zombie juice can raise the dead. I should have seen that coming. You know, sometimes it's a little bit hard to make a review. Sometimes you just sit there and think over what you should say, waiting for inspiration to hit you. This is mostly the case if you don't really click with the source material. That wasn't the case with Duskwood. I had a blast playing through the storylines and couldn't really keep up with taking notes. The 3 hours I spent there felt way shorter, and there hasn't really been a part I didn't like. The Side of a Loon story is pretty interesting. You can travel to Roland's Doom to find Valinda Starsong's shallow grave and see her ghost. Well, I think it's her grave. It's really ambiguous. I really enjoyed the Morgan Lattimore story, and unlike most fetch quests, I also enjoyed Abercrombie's quests. Even though that old bastard just used me. If I had to say anything more critical about the Duskwood, it would be that the story doesn't really feel too impactful. You could easily skip it without missing anything important. Besides for the Side of a Luna stuff. But then again, the game doesn't do too much with that either. Except using it to introduce Worgen into the area. Still, Duskwood is a fun experience if you're more into the spooky and supernatural side of WoW. And that concludes this little review. Next time, we will head to the Hillsborough foothills. If you enjoyed this video, let me know by hitting the like button or leaving a comment. If you feel especially generous, consider sharing this video or subscribing to the channel.
Hey Roo, check this out.
I fucking knew it! Where's my hose?
No.